right. So, anything you want to say to him before we kick it off?
I'm just saying hi, everybody. Did my own make. We don't got Doritos tonight or Essence. Happy birthday, Essence.
Happy birthday.
Because it's it's a lot going on. So we choose to stand with everybody. We choose to also dig deeper, to educate ourselves, to understand what it is we need to do moving forward. And as a mother, as a sister, as a woman, period. There's women out there who don't have children, and they feel this because we were created a certain way. And so it's been really, really heavy. We were putting something together, which we're still going to do, but we postponed it. And everybody in my band agreed, and on the team agreed to postpone it. So we didn't do Taylor Talk last Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we didn't do it this Tuesday because everybody was taking a stance. And so we decided we would do it this Wednesday and not hold you long, but just kind of drop some stuff that's been in his spirit and my spirit. I'm kind of going to be a little more quiet, though, because I carry things different. So I have something to say, but not much because it's just been really heavy. So
let's dive into it. This is something that we wrote on this end. I think it'll speak for itself. Change, the type of lasting change that we as a people desire, will not come from outside sources until it has taken root and has been birthed from within each and every one of us first. By that we mean that, yes, there are clearly laws in place that need to be amended, oppressive systems that need to be disrupted, racial double standards that must be uprooted, racist cops that need to be exposed, removed, and charged accordingly, media propagated motives that can no longer be given access into our homes and mindsets at the cost of our dollars. We are beyond tired, enraged, and unwilling to accept any more excuses regarding equality, which is ordained by God and cannot be delegated and rationed out by any man. Inside of a nation that was built on our backs, our creativity, and only repaid with unjustified bloodshed. And while our country is once again facing unrest and social turbulence, we also cannot allow this opportunity to pass without shedding more light on these current events and address the unspoken hard truth that some seem unwilling to address on their platforms. Our covenant with our Heavenly Father was established when He empowered us black people with the name Israel and labeled us as His peculiar people. And the etymology of peculiar means belonging exclusively to one being, special in particular. And He also laid out the blessings and curses that we can expect if we chose to disobey His commandments. While we are hurting, exhausted, and boiling with emotion, we must also understand that our opposition not only knows our true identity, but have also become masters of our weaknesses and intentionally structure systems to entangle us in sin, which is the only force on this earth that can prevent us from operating in our true power. Sadly, they seem to know more about us than we do ourselves at times. So in no way are we aiming to divert the much needed and overdue attention away from the situation at hand with these unarmed killings, and we fully stand with all of the families of those who have been slain and the protesters around the globe who, like us, are frustrated, angry, and tired of not only the unjustified killings, but also the slow response in arresting and convicting those responsible. What is violently taking place with every one of these senseless killings of our brothers and sisters is madness and completely evil. However, because we only seem to unite at this level of magnitude when we are being killed by someone outside of our own race, we must take advantage of this because we may not have another great opportunity such as this to address certain points. And in closing, after justice has been served for the deaths of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, David McAddy, Ahmaud Arbery, and the countless others who will never be forgotten, we as a people still face an even greater obstacle to overcome, and that's facing how we unite once again toward the mission of loving ourselves and each other. So, I know she touched on it at the top of it. I know you're heavy. But how do you feel when you look out, when you see the posts, you listen to the news, talk to friends and family, being a woman, being a mother, having lost a nephew How has this hit you?
For me, I just think about the older mothers who came before me. We lost a lot of our older mothers. My grandmother's gone. Like, we used to sit and talk to the older mothers, and they shipping up out of here. Because it's like a foreign country to them. Even though most of our older mothers seen a lot of stuff growing up, they fought to create so much change for their children and their children's children and their children and their children. To see this stuff, like, racism has been around. It just hasn't been on the forefront like it is now. Like, we've had so many people to lose their lives. A police officer, I can't remember the man that was just a security guard in a neighborhood, and a young man lost his life because he was wearing a hoodie.
Trayvon.
Yeah. To see it be so in our face right now, the older people are just shipping up out of here because they can't take it. They don't understand it. And so when we don't have them anymore, as a young generation, we just ready to what we be like, what's good? What's good? Like, we tired, we angry, we ain't never seen this. Like the older generation, like my grandma and them, they seen it before. They they had dealt with some of that type of stuff. But we ain't never dealt with that before. So to see it, how it happened on the video, and it was just like literally a man crying out. To see the officer in his stance and how he just, oh man, like, the world is angry. So with that being said, again, as a woman and as a mother, it ain't no difference from, like, we sit our sons down. My son is only 8. He's not old enough, but I have nephews whom are out there trying to find their way, whom I can't even get on the phone right now because if I could, they so full of, they angry. There's nothing really I can say.
Yeah.
But most mothers are sitting their kids down, and we be like, don't you go out there, don't you? Cause why we saying that? Because we want our children to survive. Like, I need you to survive. I need you to live. I need to be able to touch you. I need to see you to grow old and see it. You have children and your children have children. Like, I want you here. Like, my heart just goes out to his mother. Every mother that has lost a child, Brianna's mother. Like, I'm just lost for words because it's almost like I want to say we shouldn't do this and we shouldn't do that, and we shouldn't do certain things, but we're angry. And we ain't used to this. Even though racism has been around.
Yeah.
We're not used to this. We wasn't raised up. We didn't see that.
Right.
So we want answers. Matter of fact, excuse my language, fuck answers. We don't want answers. We want change. Excuse my language. But that's how I mean it, like that. Like, we don't want no answers. We want change. We want to be treated like we're supposed to be treated. But because now I've educated myself and I understand who I am, biblically, like spiritually, the true Israelite, I'm not sure if change is ever going to come on that end. So now my thing is I'm pleading that change will come amongst
With us,
amongst God's chosen one. I had somebody come up on my page the other day and was like, and I never read my comments, but since all this has been going on, I kind of read because sometimes I have other celebrities or other people hit me in DMs and stuff I normally don't check to ask me to be a part of stuff or just checking up on me, and we're checking up on each other. And so I saw the person say, we are all God's children. And yeah, we are. But he has his 12 tribe, his chosen one, and I know who I am. And that's what I was talking about. And so in order to know what I was talking about, you got to study that, to show that stuff. You got to study. We got to get in the book. We cannot depend on the law of the land. We cannot depend on the government. Excuse me. We cannot depend on certain things. We got to depend on the book. What's the book? That's the word. That's the Bible.
Facts.
That's my little 2 cents.
And I feel you, because my son Trey, he great turned 24, and that's a call. Not only what I never want to get, but I'm not going to get, so the focus is a little less on him, because he knows how to navigate. And when he was young, he was actually in the car with me a couple times, and I was pulled over. And I remember one time I had Trey in the car with me, and I got pulled over. I got arrested. My mom had to come get him out the car, and he's seen some things. And so our focus is making sure that Kyan and Cohen,
don't have to see
our grandsons.
But
we have to be honest and have these conversations. I think sometimes we raise our children hoping for the best, and we move into certain communities and we do certain things to try to hide them from the ugliness of the world. But at the same time, they have to be prepared, because one of the worst things we could do is present a life to them that's only inside of a cubicle, and then when they step out there, they're hit with it, and they can't respond, they can't react, they can't process. We have to have these tough conversations, no more than now. We used to be able to talk to our kids about sex when they got 13, 14, but now schools are taking it upon themselves to start telling your kid their opinion of sex at 5 years old and 6 years old. We have to own our kids' mindsets. And I don't want to get off track, but like we have children, and we have to make sure that they're prepared in case something ever happens to me, something ever happens to us, that they got some jewels that they can carry.
And my true opinion is, I'm going to pretend this was the book, the Bible. This is the only way to do it.
That's fair.
It's digging deep, like.
I think we have to do both, and like we really gonna get to that on that covenant piece.
When you mean both, what do you mean? Both what? Like
after you get off your knees, you got to move your feet, and so.
Right, I'm saying stay on your knees. And I'm also saying be down to earth with your kids. Like, that's the one thing that I loved about my mother and my grandmother. They weren't so holy that they couldn't have a regular conversation.
Facts.
Be down to earth with your kids, but go back to the book to make sure
that's the foundation.
Pretty much, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm with you. The Bible is the foundation, and there's no point in knowing our identity and who we are if we're not going to abide by the requirements that come with it. And that's why we chose culture versus covenant, because some of the things that we've adopted in our culture are hindering us from walking in the full power of who we are. And I want to get to that, so I had only 2 more questions. So what are your thoughts on how we responded? Like that, I'm seeing people in Paris and France and all over the world. Like,
be careful when you ask me what's my response, because mine end up everywhere. Breakfast Club. I'm gonna be honest.
Everybody's being honest right now, and we're probably saying things that we've been trying to be politically correct and all of that stuff. But I
got teary-eyed seeing I got teary-eyed seeing the marches and seeing how many people came out. I got teary-eyed all over the world. I got so teary-eyed. Now, my thing was, if we could just take all those people and put the book with it.
And
do you understand what we could do? Do you understand? They know who we are.
Correct.
So, my thoughts.
Just on how we responded, what you're seeing, because we gotta build up.
Like I didn't like the fact that our people was like looting an hour. And I got it though. I get it though. I get it. And I'm not also saying go loot and do the fancy stores, but I'm saying don't loot ours. Because we work so hard for that. I was reading an article about the Black Wall Street, and
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
They set it on fire and so they know like
wake up,
like it belongs to us. That's the only thing I would say.
Another thing to piggyback, not to cut your wisdom, but we all saw the videos when there were people outside of our race starting the looting, carefully, strategically putting bricks in place.
That was intentional.
All of that was intentional
to start it off and piss us off and make us look a certain way. So my thing is, yeah,
But you'll
people
catch them on IG and social media, but you'll see us on CNN.
pretty much.
Wake up.
Pretty much,
Wake
because it's
up.
because like we powerful, you know. Like, look, at the end of the day, I'm saying like, don't tear out what we build. And I asked you one day, and I know somebody might, you don't know this, but I googled it. I was like, yo, what does when you mix the color red and blue, what does it make? And I thought I was for sure it was the color brown, but it's like I looked it up. I think it's like purple, violet, or something like that.
Something like that.
But I asked him that question because I feel like if all of our, you know, we got like red and blue, the gangs, and everybody, like if we all came together.
We got so many sects. You got
sects,
red, blue.
What you call it?
You
the
got the Nation of Islam. You got the people of faith and Christianity.
If the sects all came together. We got
one common gang that we got in common.
And that's
your skin tone.
That's your right.
That's your heritage.
And I was like, yo, if we linked up and we stood powerful and strong and got in our book and abided by our Father's laws, not the laws of the world, like man.
Facts.
Our Father's laws, then I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but I read my book too much, and I know that I dream too much, and I know that I have a connection with God, and He speaks to me, and I feel Him, and I know that He lives, He's real. I believe He can work those type of miracles that He used to work back in the Bible days when He was parting Red Seas, when He was making bushes burn for Moses, when He sent plagues to Pharaoh.
But see, the thing is, God is not less powerful than He was back then.
I know it.
God has not changed.
I know it.
We have moved.
We got to line up.
We have fallen in love with unrighteousness, and we can't have unrighteous lifestyles that are deep in our culture and expect God to move on our behalf, because once again, God has not changed. He's not going to bend the law and cut corners just because we are His peculiar. We have to get in position, and we have to get in line and make some tremendous sacrifices in order to have something war on our behalf that's greater than this earth we live in. And we great jump dead into that. The last thing on that particular piece, we're going to get out of culture and get into covenant.
You know what? I know.
No, take your time.
You know what? You know what's so crazy to me? I was like, we and I was guilty of this at one point. Like, do you notice like we only pray when we're going through something?
Oh, I'm about to get to that.
So like.
Oh, I'm about to dive deep.
So like I used to remember like when I first went Idol and I first started gigging and partying and clubbing, and we would dance all night, drink all night, dance all night, spend money on this, spend money on that. Next morning for me, you want me to be honest?
Back in church.
Now I'm talking about when I went Idol.
Oh, Idol, my bad.
Yeah, that was
45.
Yeah. Next morning we were sleeping to get ready to do it again another night.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm trying to get to is that if we spent that much time on our knees and praying, now I ain't saying we got to be so deep. Like you can still have fun. It living and walking up under His word and His laws. It's still fun. We have fun, right? You think we're pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like now is the time where we should be on our knees worshiping, other than fighting with each other on social media. Battling with each other, because that's the other thing that I want to see stop is if we're going to stand up with each other, we got to stop fighting each other too.
That's our culture.
I know, but we got to break that. It's not. It's only our culture because they created it. And that started back in Willie Lynch. Like, that's back in the... They created that to put us against.
It's
the dark skin against the light skin, and light skin against...
We think the way that we think, and it's an amazing thing when you come into the understanding that the way you think, they're not your thoughts. That our thoughts are being programmed, they are being systematically placed in our head, and we're adopting them.
Pretty much.
But they're not our thoughts, they're not our ways.
So that's all I'm saying is like if we spent that much time digging deeper to educate ourselves and find out who we really are, we can stand up against them in a way where they're gonna be like, what the hold up.
Honestly, be honest, if we knew how to remain collective and unified, we don't have to stand against anything. Because we're in all the positions that we need to be in, but we're segmented.
The sad part is we do. But then somebody comes out the blue, like some of the videos that I've been watching, and it's one cop or it's one dum-dum that like when you told me the man they shot in somebody's car.
Yeah, it was, they just caught them cats.
For no
young
reason.
Man and his wife heading home.
They was headed home.
3 minutes after curfew, kill it.
So it's almost like when stuff starts to happen, even when we're standing, they piss us off again. That's why I keep going back to the fact that We got to stand and get up under the word so we know when those things happen that we don't have who was that? David in the Bible? No. Who was that? Peter? When they came after Jesus, Peter was ready to get down with the get down.
Oh, yeah, you slicing ears.
Jesus was like, hey, chill out. Now, it's
hard. Ear off. Can you hear me now?
Like I always say to you, I think I said this one time, it's hard to turn the other cheek. That is hard.
Facts.
To turn the other cheek, especially after you done hit me several times in my face, bro. I don't know. It's hard.
But see, when they create these mechanisms to instill fear,
yeah, it's
also to get us to lose our faith in God. Because fear is going to want you to have some form of control. And when you have a burning desire for control, it creates anxiety, it creates fear, and you begin to do certain things that actually feel good. They feel good to you, but they work against the divine plan for your life. So you jumping so deep into this next joint, I just want to hit this last one, and we're going to go over the covenant, and we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, you go ahead, because I'm over here on one.
All right, so the last thing, do you believe the built-up tension and frustration from the COVID pandemic and all of the ripple effects that it caused, people losing family members, losing businesses, hard-working people who had created businesses and succession plans and social distancing and not being able to break free, do you feel like it added to the intensity that we're seeing now? And I pose this question because we've seen marches. We've seen our brothers and sisters be killed, and we've come out, but never like this. There's certain things that are working, that can be working in our favor if we play it right. But I just want to know, and then we're going to go full throttle for the rest of our time. Do you feel like the COVID pandemic has added to the intensity of what we're seeing right now? Because, and forgive me, I could be wrong, so I may be wrong, but I didn't see a global united standing when Trayvon was murdered. I didn't see it with Mike Brown and Sandra Bland. I saw us go hard here, but this is different.
You asking me? I feel like you keep trying to get me in trouble.
I mean, you're the only person I can talk to.
I'm rowdy.
I can talk to.
I'm ready to know.
Hey, what y'all think? Ship.
Stop playing.
Oh, they said next Tuesday.
I think it do, because you already know how I feel about that.
Right.
You already know how I feel about the whole COVID-19.
Facts. Because we know who that impacted the most.
Okay, who did it?
So that's why I posed the question.
So you won't get me in trouble, because I'm always the one to get in trouble. You have to come clean me up.
I think certain things are grand design, as I said before, systematic. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I got phenomenal common sense. The best time to destroy an enemy is when they're at their weakest. So you disrupt our finances, you disrupt our immune system and our health, you disrupt our family, divorces are skyrocketing, you put us where we can connect with each other, which creates good energy and natural healing to us.
You shut down the gyms, you messed me up for the gym because I've gained a pound or two.
What is this?
I think somebody thought I was pregnant because I didn't gain weight. Yeah. So back to it, I'm just saying, you shut down everything. And all the black businesses
took it here. A lot of businesses took it. Hear me. A lot of businesses took it.
Yeah, but most of the black businesses took hits. Now, there are some that was not black that took hits too. Because I got to also say, I got a lot of friends who are not black, who are white, who have texted me, who have loved on me, who stand with me, who support me. I have nieces and nephews who are biracial. So this is not a bad session on... It's just to the ones who are crooked-minded. But we also can no longer
feel bad about standing up and loving ourselves and feeling like it's an elephant in the room.
Of course not.
On times other than this.
Of course not.
You know, we got to be able to have this thing every single day.
But you know, I had one of my white friends, and I'm not going to say no names, who called me and was brokenhearted and was like, yo,
me too.
I don't even want to be white no more.
Right.
I for real, I was like, don't say that. She was like, I'm serious. Like, this is crazy. Like, she was like, I know who you are. I know what the power. I know who y'all are. And this is ridiculous to me. I can't stand this. So I said that to say this. It's some out there protesting. They're standing with us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if we want to break down the 12 tribe, now I put everybody to the test. Those who are really listening and in here with us and don't want to combat and have an argument, I put you to the test to look up who the 12 tribes are.
It'll change everything.
It'll change everything. Look up who are the 12 tribes of Judah.
Israel and Judah.
Oh, sorry about that. Israel and Judah. Because remember, I didn't know. Like, I'm just learning a lot of stuff. So I said that to say this. It's a lot of people out there standing with us and who think that this is buffoonery. I cried when the cop, he was a white cop.
Mm-hmm.
And it was another black cop, too, that made me cry because he was like, yo, he lost his job.
I know one quit.
Yeah, he quit his job.
He quit.
But the white cop...
Salute to you, brother.
Yeah, salute to you. And the white cop who stood with us and was like, yo, I'm going to take a knee. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, a lot of them are.
And I respect that. I respect that. Because we not taking no... Like, times have changed. This is it. We're not taking no more. But go ahead.
Let's go ahead. Let's just go ahead and jump into it.
Go ahead.
All right. Let's talk about culture. Forgive me, covenant. The one thing we can never ask or expect is for another race to place greater value on our lives than we do ourselves. At the vicious killing of George Floyd, we are now in a justifiable global uproar. But when we kill each other, it's treated as common culture, or worse, acceptable entertainment on live platforms and programming such as the First 48, which are all designed to desensitize us to the sacred value of our black lives before God. So, is it a double standard or hypocritical to say that we can kill each other daily, but no one else can? Similar to how our culture responds to the N-word, where we speak it freely with smiles between each other, but we become enraged when someone else communicates it. This is another side effect of our culture. Covenant screams right is right and wrong is wrong, and this must be agreed between us in order for truth to be upheld. But our culture has allowed these gray lines to remain inside of our cultural rule book that leave room for great confusion and allows mayhem to exist inside of the fine print. So you have to ask yourself, right now we all have each other's attention. We're looking each other in the eyes. We're in arms with each other. We're taking knees with each other. We're tearing stuff down with each other. What happens after? And I say that because certain resources are going to come, right? Not reparations, but I heard Bank of America's donating $1 billion, Fashion Nova's donating $1 million. A lot of celebrities are donating money. There's going to be awareness. They're talking about changing the way a 8-step process. I think maybe Tony Don posted an 8-step process that they have to do to de-escalate. Shooting has to be the last resort. All of that good stuff, right? So let's say we get away. Let's say in a perfect world, we don't have an unarmed killing by a police officer for the next 12 months. Now what do we do as a culture?
I said it in the beginning.
I know, but we here now. And you ain't even look at my note. One thing about me and my wife, we don't talk about stuff before we go live. Like I'll be in a position, I'll be going to tell my wife something. She said, just save it for the joint. Like this ain't rehearsed. This is super raw. Yeah.
I said that to you in the beginning. I was like, I feel like we need to what I went and do to see, and I may get in trouble for this, but my heart been heavy. What I went and do to see T.D. Jakes and Farrakhan and
Bob Johnson and all the billionaires,
because
it takes faith and finances. They have to coexist.
What I wouldn't do to see us all in a big old field somewhere, just letting them hit the podium and teach and just guiding us or giving us some stuff that most don't know, because some of us don't.
And that thing right here is what I'm trying to hit. Because unfortunately, this is going to fade out. It's going to fade out. And then we're back to coexisting and managing ourselves in our own neighborhood, at our own stores, at our own round tables.
Now, what we back to is COVID-19.
Man, ain't worried about COVID.
With the made up whole...
She losing weight. She was a fat girl, but she losing weight
I was wondering, I was like, why we ain't hearing nothing about the COVID? Oh, because it was all intentional.
We all know that. You know what I mean?
Oh, God, I'm out of it.
But the biggest thing that concerns me is never have we been connected and in sync globally. We may never have an opportunity to be able to make sure these lives are not in vain. Because sometimes getting the right person arrested, that's not enough. If we don't turn this into something greater, it's still in vain. They can pay. They can sue the police station, give that family some money, to all these different families. They can change the rule book, so on and so forth. The greater opportunity here, the greater reward, is if we use this opportunity to connect, to network, to join arms, to link, to make some sound decisions as a global front that we're no longer doing this. We're no longer going to spend our money here. We're no longer tuning into this and start to send that way because, like I said in my post, that's how you protest every single day of the year.
But you know what's so crazy?
Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm over here playing. I gotta do it.
Oops, sorry.
The crazy part is, okay, I get exactly what you're saying. And that's what we need to do. But it's been going on for so long. And we have been downloaded with so much wrong. It's going to be the slowest marathon ever.
But are we willing in this generation to be pioneers?
That's the question.
To say that we willing to just...
I even sit while I'm on here, and I feel like certain people will take pieces and pockets and pieces and pockets.
Find something to tear it down.
And they'll try to find something that we say to tear it down. And the whole meaning of what we're doing will be overlooked.
We almost weren't going to do this.
We almost, because it's scary.
Yeah,
and it be mainly from
us,
my sister and my brother. Everybody is looking. I posted something earlier today, like when we communicate, instead of us listening to each other's hearts, we're already thinking of our reply. And so, with what you're saying, yes, I hope that it happens. Golly, what I wouldn't do to see that happen. But I would just like to see one day where we could do something where we're not tearing each other down or trying to find something to take and turn it into a negative thing and keep it a positive thing. Because when we can figure that out, then we can all stand together as one. And that's why my heart hurts. That is why my heart hurts. Because it's almost like damn if you do, damn if you don't.
But I'd rather leave this earth knowing that I did, that I tried, that I was obedient to what he gave me to do, and that I made an effort for my bloodline. Because if you want to, it's in reverse. If you want to change the world, change the home. If you change the home, if every man and every woman says, I'm going to change my home, then you'll change your community. Then you'll change your city, your state, and it continues to go forward.
But you know what? It goes back to me saying, if we're going to riot, boom. It goes back to me saying we got to get in the word.
Without a doubt.
And when I mentioned Peter, because he was ready to go get bucked for Jesus. But Jesus was like, don't do it, right? And I was talking to somebody else too, like all the stories that I read on Jesus, like he was not a loud man. He was not like, he might have spoke a couple of scriptures and kept it like boom, boom, boom.
It's because he had power. Power don't have to respond with force.
And so I feel like if we go out but again, I said, if we go out and riot and not riot, but protest in silence, I feel like I've seen a lot of those. And it's always one cop out the bunch, one person out the bunch to come and do something dumb to make a person say, oh, hell no. You're not finna do my brother like that.
Right.
You're not finna, right?
Right.
So I guess that's what we got to figure out is what's the in-between right there.
And what's the end game? Like, you know, a lot of people believe you fight fire with fire. You got to fight systems with systems. If there are systems in place that start from where we live, how the zones of where we live is redlined, the educational system, the processes in the economy and the job market, to the prison system, so on and so forth, then we got to come back and fight the systems. We have the buying power, we have the voices, we have the numbers, we have the creativity, the ingenuity, the intellectual property to be able to do something. That's what I'm saying. When all this is said and done, there's got to be more left on the table than the cops being in prison, restitution given to the families, and broken windows and burning cars.
I think that's, but I think, oops, sorry.
No, you good.
I didn't mean to break it.
Oh, no, I'm here.
I think that's where our people get mad, too, because it's like, the cops go to where?
They'll get theirs. Last place you want to be in prison as a cop. I mean, last place you want to be as a cop is in prison.
I know, but it's almost like we be like, you know what I'm saying? Like if one of the night, you know what I'm saying? They get off easy before. Never mind.
Again, I say the biggest takeaway from this will be is if we collectively and globally commit to even doing one thing in you know the impact if we all said, I don't want to say anybody because then they come on, you say they shouldn't go get chicken from whatever. But I'm just saying, if we all agree, and it has to be something that makes sense that will send a shockwave, if we all globally, billions of us say we are no longer going to do this, and then we get that in the realm, and we will no longer do this, and we will no longer buy into this and support this or tune into this or whatever the case may be, that to me will have more lasting effects and will be worthwhile for everything that's taking place. Because we can't keep marching all the way till August.
Oh,
So there has to be something for these lives that were taken. The people who will people getting hit with rubber bullets in their face in the street. What is going to be the divine and ultimate reward? It won't be nothing if we go back to business as usual.
I feel like it would be dope if, like, we just started our little lives. But it'd be dope if, like, we could link up with other lives and podcasts and radio stations and do a show and we start educating ourselves. That's it. That's all.
And I think we're doing it, but
We're doing
our thing over here.
And then that person doing it over there.
So we're not a threat.
What I'm saying is we got to come together. We got to link up. Let's link up.
We're not a threat.
Let's link up.
Boom. I'm gonna give you something now.
Is our time running out? Cause we
solid.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you something, and this is just my opinion. I will wear this one.
Be careful, baby.
I'll be careful. I started to ask myself, why were they trying to build a wall?
Oh.
Why were they putting so much effort, energy, money, different houses in the Senate and Congress going to war with each other, friends not even, why was this wall so important?
You better preach, I know where you're going.
And I was like, okay, show you right. Because the Latino community are in sync. They'll stay all in one house together. They'll save their money. They won't spend money outside of, they got their own auto parts store, they got their own barbershop, they got their own grocery store. You go to New York, Chinatown got their own Chinatown. We're going to put it in Chinese. If you can't read it, go wherever you want to go. They wanted to build a wall, not just to take all the jobs, and everybody's got their own opinion, but when a nation of that size is unified, has their own language, and they haven't lost their culture.
It's a threat.
Catch them on Cinco de Mayo. See how it goes down. But it was a threat. Yeah. That's when it hit me to realize we're not a threat.
And we got to become that.
And we have to become a threat.
Am I wrong? Is the part of the 12 tribe?
They got to find out for themselves.
Okay, please do me that, you guys. I don't care if it's 3 of you, 4 of you, 5 of you. Please go look up who are the 12 tribes.
Get your identity first. Your identity is greater than just who your daddy is and who your mama is. You got to understand what you're connected to so you'll know what you're responsible for and what you're entitled to. Don't let social media, don't let these different TV shows, and I ain't going to call none of them out, get you convinced that your identity is something else than it is. Because once you know who you are, you'll know exactly what you're not.
Yep.
And when you know who you are, you know how you shouldn't walk, how you shouldn't dress, how you shouldn't speak. A lot of people will come, boy, I'm telling you, I don't want to get in no trouble.
Don't, just be careful. Just slow your roll. I think they get exactly what we saying.
We had a conversation the other day, and it was like sometimes, I may have to go do something in business or whatever the case may be, and somebody may say, yo, you trying to talk white, or you acting white, or y'all over in this neighborhood living white. I'm like, what makes you think we got it from them? What makes you think that we weren't the lawgivers, or we weren't the creators of science, or that we weren't the creative muscle behind certain things? What has convinced you that I'm acting like something that I shouldn't be? So if I ain't I mean I ain't acting black, but do you really understand? Nah, cause you.
But that just gave me something. Understand?
I know exactly what I'm acting like. I'm in tune.
Understand what I'm about to say right quick, okay? I don't even think it's called acting black. I think it's rioting. I think it's rage. I think it's anger. I think it's built up. And what? No, hear me out. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's everything. We have been oppressed. We've been oppressed so much that when we talk to each other as husband and wife, it's pop.
Yeah, fair.
And then it's like, well, how can I? You don't treat your brother like that. You don't talk to your sister like that. You don't talk to your friend like that. Why you so mad with me? It's like when we get upset, it comes from a place of what we have. What this is new for us.
I think the same thing about when you sing.
But
it comes from
been happening. This been happening. So I don't even call it acting black. I think it's just that when we get what black people do when they get excited, we get loud.
We passionate.
When all our family come together, we get louder.
No doubt.
Everybody get to talking. Everybody get to, man, let me tell you. But it comes from a place of suppression.
And I'm speaking less about, and I totally
We gotta
agree with
go.
that. I totally agree with
too
that.
excited.
I'm speaking less about the tempo.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm playing both
'cause
sides.
of
So
the
you
party.
got
Yeah,
right. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can dig that.
I just you get it. I'm saying like I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying.
And and
I believe both can coexist.
It can.
Facts.
Because we are okay. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Man, let me tell you something. Oh Lord,
and you can't do but so much in an hour. You can't do but so much in a generation. The only thing that we cannot do is nothing. That's the only thing we cannot do. And with time ticking, I'm gonna hit this last sentence. The one major difference between our posture as a people during slavery back then compared to our posture today is that when we were joined in chains, we were much more on one accord. But we are unable to accept that we must be chained together in order to move on one accord.
And the one thing I'm going to say, and this might not make no sense to some, but I think we as a people got to get back to having like a kid-like spirit. And what I mean by that is we got to learn how to dance in the rain. We got to learn how to dance in the rain. What do you mean by learning how to dance in the rain? When we were kids and it rained and you walk outside, either if your parents made you wait till it stopped raining, what's the first thing kids do when they walk outside?
Go jump in the biggest
puddle
they can
find. They
find.
find the biggest puddle they can find.
But we be like, not my J's, not my J's.
We got to learn how to dance in the rain again, and we got to get back to that whole saying what kids used to say, sticks and stones.
Oh, boom.
They break my bones.
Sean King.
Wait, now I was going somewhere.
My bad,
sticks
girl.
and stones, they break my bones, but words don't hurt me. You remember everybody used to say that?
Right.
Like a kid, I watch little kids when they're around, like when my son's friends are around, or my little bitty nieces and nephews. The kids can have a falling out and be back in 5 minutes playing again. Somebody may say something, the kid may just look and be like, And I asked Dallas, like, how'd you feel about that? Why you didn't say something? And he'd be looking at me like, for what? Right. We got to get back to kid-like spirits where we not allowed, because even on this Taylor Talk, there's some people on here that are saying some crazy things. But sticks and stones may break my bones. But words, they can't hurt me. Because I know that I'm covered under the blood of Jesus Christ. So when we know that, we move different. That's my little piece. It's getting dark out here. You know I'm dark skinned. They ain't going to be able to see me in a minute. But that's my little piece.
So there you have it. I skipped over half this. I know I can get long-winded. I know that we can get off topic at times. But if we leave you with anything, culture versus covenant. Covenant is where our power source is. And when all this dies down, we got to make sure the fire stays lit and remains in us so we can pass that torch to our kids. So therefore, we're going to have to look at our culture and our behavior and our decision-making in order to add value to the opportunities that we have, such as this. I don't think we're going to ever have as great an opportunity right now to make a statement, to connect some dots and redeem some things as we do right now. So we're going to pray. Unless you got anything else to say.
I never thought I would be doing these lives and
Yeah, I know, right?
You know, I ain't old, but I never thought it, we would be doing these kind of things. And so my one prayer, and I'm going to leave it as alone, is that we all, just like we did yesterday, we took a day and it went dark, it went black, and nobody was posting anything. And I wish we could do that more often, where we take a day to, if we're going to go on our social media, use it as a positive thing and not use it as a time of encouraging each other and not selling sex and selling music and selling, because I'm an artist and I get it. At one point I never had a social media, and the label, when I was with a label, used to tell me it's the way of the world, it's a new thing, you gotta have it. And I feel like when it came, it just really made opinions be more like in your face.
Yeah.
Like people's opinions like was more in your face. And so then you started having like suicides and people like what was that we was watching the other day? Was it a movie or a reality show? I believe it was a movie. But anyway, in the movie, the girl, no, it was a reality show. And 90 Day Fiance or 90 Days, something like that. And the girl was so depressed because of all of the feedback she had got from the media.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So I just wish we could all come together, all the people who have hearts and ready to share love, spread love. I wish we could do more of that because, like I said, I've been sitting here this whole time, and every now and then I look because Dorikas is not here, and I've seen like some negative things, and I'm like, man,
that's gonna happen.
I know.
Just like somebody said, what we can do is get out and vote, and you're absolutely right. But no matter who's in office, we still have to conduct ourselves a certain way as a people. We can't leave it because it's so dark out here. We can't leave it to who's in office. We can't leave it to who. Because
that's the law of the land. Like I was saying, they still gonna do what they want to do.
Yeah, we have to come together on one accord and tap into a power source that we haven't experienced in this lifetime. That's what we have to do. Yeah, so.
And we want y'all to know we love you.
Yeah.
We wasn't gonna like say anything, but our hearts was just so heavy, and we, and we ain't coming. We had to be very, very careful, and this.
We still got a lot of stuff to get through. Like we're not trying to overlook anything. We're just trying to take this opportunity to say, with everything that we're facing, let's not allow ourselves to be distracted from who we are and what we're supposed to do and what we're supposed to accomplish together, because we can get so caught up in pandemics and get so caught up in these ridiculous killings that we still don't get back to where we're supposed to be.
And to George's family,
man,
which they may not ever see this, but I just want to say, it's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Yeah.
Father, we thank you for the opportunity to do what you've asked us to do. We ask that those who have ears to hear heard, and those who have a heart to receive, move on it in the way that you showed them. Put your hands on the earth, Father, because it is being shaken, and maybe you're causing it. But let us not take our eyes off you. Let us be okay bringing our anger and our frustration and our anxiety and our fears to your feet as well, with the same intensity and openness that we do to the rest of the world on these social platforms. Let's make sure you're not written out of the equation, that as we chase to have laws amended and certain things put back in order, that we also realize that you're still in full control. We thank you for everybody who tuned in tonight and ask that you speak to them personally and individually, because we all are hurting, we all are confused, and we are all trying to figure this out. Let your perfect will be done in the earth, that your glory may reign forever as it always will, Father God. In Christ Yeshua's name we pray and we thank you and we believe. Amen. Amen. Y'all have a wonderful night. Much love.